Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share how I applied for my Schengen visa completely from home without stepping into a visa center. Instead, I applied through the embassy by sending my documents by post. This simple method saved me time and stress, and a few days later, I was on my way to explore 5 countries in just 7 days. Normally, Schengen visa application mean long queues and biometric at the visa center. But since my previous biometric was still valid, the embassy allowed me to undo everything by mail. Let me walk you through how it worked. Choosing the embassy. My entry point was Switzerland, so I applied through the Swiss embassy. Always remember, you apply through the country you first enter or spend the most time in. The second step is document by post. Instead of submitting online upload or going in person, I printed and sent my document by mail. My package included completed visa application form, passport, flight reservations, hotel bookings, proof of funds, travel insurance, and importantly, a self-addressed stamped return envelope for the embassy to send my passport back. The next step is the visa approval. A few days later, my passport arrived right at my doorstep with the Schengen visa stamped inside. No queues, no stress. With my visa ready, I kicked off my journey. I landed in Zurich and visited the breathtaking Rhine Fall. If you want to see more, you can also check my other video where I highlighted how I was able to visit 5 different countries within 7 days. The second stop was in Germany. I drove into Ulm to view the tallest cathedral in the world, which is the Ulm Metzingen, and I did some shopping in Metzingen. So that was on my way to Stuttgart. Then the next country I visited is Austria. I explored Vienna, and it's full of history and charm. And honestly, if you ask me, I would say it's the next best country I visited after I was in Rome, which obviously is called the Eternal City. The next country I visited is Slovakia, which is just a short road trip to Bratislava if you are driving from Austria. I think it's less than an hour, about 45 minutes to about 50 minutes drive. And the last stop was in Hungary, where I visited Budapest, soaking the views from the Danube. It was breathtaking. And so in all, 1 visa, 5 countries, endless memory. If you ask me for the tips that you might need if you are applying by post, you need to check if your biometric are still valid. This is what made me eligible to apply by mail. So what I did was I sent an email to the Switzerland embassy, and they replied. I think it took about 3 to 5 days, told me that it should be valid and that I am eligible to apply by mail. And the next thing you also need to have in mind is you need to include a self-addressed stamped envelope so your passport can be returned safely. Although they are going to give you a list of what you need to do, but you also need to put that in mind because that is the way you are going to track your passport. And you need to apply at least 4 to 6 weeks before your trip. For me, I would say the earliest should be about 6 weeks. And this is so that you can take care of any eventualities. For example, if you need to plan, if you need to be sure that you are going to get your visa back. So just give it about 6 weeks roughly. That in that case you are covering any other ends, and make sure your travel insurance is valid and meet the Schengen requirement. So before you apply, they are going to give you the requirement like I said earlier, and in the requirement you are going to see what you need to do, the amount that the insurance needs to cover, so that they'll be sure that while you are there, in case anything happens, you are insured and you don't have to rely on their money to get treated. And lastly, I would say double check your document before sending, because missing one can delay your application. Sometimes they will need to contact you, request for anything that is missing, and compared to when you are physically there, when you can both go through the documents, this time around you are sending. So just make sure you cover everything. In my own case, I would say I even over provided, because when they sent my passport back, there were some documents that they basically returned to me. Maybe they didn't require those documents. So that's how I got my Schengen visa by post without visiting a visa center, and made my 5-country trip possible. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is because before now, I think I've applied about three times, And on those 3 occasions, I know all the things, the requirements, the logistics, having to take time out of work to visit and getting the visa. And now I was just able to do it without leaving my house, except for obviously when I went to make some printings and then drop off the document at the post office. So if this video was helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more travel tips and stories. And if you are applying for your Schengen visa soon, drop your question in the comments. I'd love to help. And this is Ola signing out, and I will say I also have my social media handles, which you can also follow. They are posted in the link below. And also, I also have a blog where I actually put all this together. So if you also go online, the blog, the website is travelwithola.com. Thank you for today, and I hope to see you in the next episode.